Because bulimia is out of control, triggered by inappropriate physical contact and comments initiated by, of all people, her future father-in-law. Not just once, but on several occasions. Find out what happened and hear our expert suggestions about how to help her.
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontrol.eating.com.
Welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating. I'm Vicki Todd, a child and adult psychoanalyst and an eating disorder specialist.
And I'm Michelle Holtzberger, a clinical social worker. But in the online virtual world, we are savvy detectives
who solve real-life eating mysteries like today's.
And we're going to teach you how to become a savvy detective too. So step into our virtual office for this brief therapy session. Then stick around afterwards. You'll hear our detective work and practical advice. Now, here's Bella.
I'm sorry for calling twice, but it was hard to come.
But you made it.
Yes. I can't go on living like this. It's unbearable. But I'm afraid you won't be able to help me.
You sound worried.
I am.
Tell me what's going on.
Every day, I think maybe this will be the last day. Maybe today I'll stop and never go back. But I always fail. That's because I'm a stress eater. Nothing else seems to calm me down. Not reading, yoga, meditation, nothing.
Sounds like you've tried lots of things.
Yes. I get so anxious. My mom says I should talk to the family doctor and get some medication, but those have a lot of side effects. One of my coworkers took something and she swelled up like a balloon. So scary. I don't want to get fat. That's why I purge. It's so embarrassing. My eating is totally out of control. Every day I eat up all those sweets and then I make myself sick. It's disgusting. My bathroom smells like puke. My clothes smell like puke. Even my hair. But I'm just such an anxious mess.
Wonder what makes you so anxious, Bella?
There's some drama at work. A couple of women fighting over a man. It's absurd. But I don't really get involved in that. Me and my husband, Dave, we argue about the usual things. Money, who's responsible for household chores, and sex. Right now, I'm dreading getting together with my in-laws, and I hate going over there. But it's his dad's birthday, and I can't get out of it.
Tell me about your in-laws.
Well, the first time I met them, we went out to eat at a restaurant. I had this really cute red pencil dress on that buttoned up the back. This is really hard to talk about.
Take your time.
My future father-in-law, he snuck up behind me while we were in line and he said my dress was unbuttoned. And I know it wasn't. Anyway, he reached in and snapped my bra strap. Then he put his face near my ear and whispered, "Your boyfriend should be doing this." He had a big, creepy grin on his face. Every time I think of it, I get chills. Ugh, what a pervert. I was upset and I went to the restroom and started crying. I wanted to puke. When I finally went to the table, Dave's dad kept staring at me and winking. He still does that. Like, what a fucking asshole. I hate him so much. He's nothing but an ignorant, alcoholic piece of shit. And I wish he would just die.
Did you tell your husband what happened?
She said Dave can't help if his dad is inappropriate and to just stay away from him. I try, but he always comes creeping around.
But you didn't tell your husband?
No,
Wonder why not?
there was no point. I knew he would, I knew how he would react. In fact, he saw his dad touch me on the top of my head one day, and said, "Hot, hot, hot." When I said something about it later, Dave blew his top, said his dad was just being friendly. What an ass. Who does that to be friendly? It was humiliating. I really can't believe that I married Dave after all this.
I wondered about that.
I didn't want to, but he relentlessly pressured me. He had sucked up big time to my family, and they all adored him.
So you felt trapped?
Yes, yes, I'm trapped. Every time I look at Dave, I see his dad. He just looks like him. I can't stand for him to touch me. I'm always running away. That's how bad it is. I started going to psychics to find out about the future. Will I always be with Dave? Every time a psychic says no, I feel such relief. But it doesn't last, so I have to find another one.
What about that, Bella?
I want out, but I don't see any way that's going to happen. It would be a terrible blow to my family.
Wonder where you've gone, Bella.
My father-in-law says that to me all the time. "Bella, you seem so many miles away." And I think, I wish I were a million miles away. I think Dave can read my mind because he gives me the dirtiest look. And then on the way home, he tells me how rude I am. There's no talking to him about it. He can't tolerate me verbalizing any anger. If I say anything, he blasts me with such rage that I immediately back down. He scares me.
But your anger doesn't magically go away. Wonder what happens to it.
I don't know.
Now comes the fun part, the detective work. Let's see if we can figure out why Bella struggles with bulimia.
As always, I took notes, focusing on feelings to get things organized for us. But instead of feelings, let's start with the family members. We really don't know much about Bella's family.
Except that they adore Dave.
Yes,
And her mother wasn't helpful when she told her about the father-in-law.
no, she wasn't. What did you think about Dave?
You know, he charmed her family, but he seems to bully Bella.
I thought so too. So interesting what she said about not being able to get mad, or else he blasts her into submission. And lastly, the father in law.
Yeah, I agree with Bella. Creepy.
Now let's go through my list of feelings that Bella mentioned: worried and afraid to be hopeful, anxious, embarrassed, ashamed, trapped, and enraged. And I do mean enraged. Before she went to therapy, she didn't seem to have anyone to talk with about these feelings. She's a stress eater who's afraid of getting fat. Is anyone surprised that she is bulimic? I was just so struck by the fact that she seemed unaware of why she is bulimic when she came to her session. Then she shows so much insight, but at the end, she doesn't know what happens to her mad feelings. She can't hang on to her progress yet, but now she has a therapist to help her, maybe even to be her memory for her, so she clears away all this clutter and is able to remember properly.
Well, maybe some of our detectives can relate to Bella's struggle with out of control eating as a way to cope with suppressed anger, stuffing food down inside, like you stuff mad feelings. And maybe, like Bella, you can begin to let yourself know what's going on. If you need assistance, please check on mental health services in your area. It's really much easier to address these painful issues with the help of a caring professional. And that's it for now, but there's more stories like Bella to come. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and share with others. And remember,
Keep searching for clues.